And welcome back. We are here for SMO 90%. We got Pain Pita versus GoldenLily03. Commentating with you, I'm Troy Vathens, and joining me today, I got BP31. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Right. Good. I'm excited for this stuff. I believe this is going to be the final match of the groups A and B for SMO. So, for the SMO qualifiers. So it's going to be good. Going to be figuring this stuff out. Oh, wrong about that. Apparently, did that other one might have happened already as well. I'll double check schedule stuff because it may just not have been updated yet. Because Mitch and Safaru's game also would have to happen, and I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mitch and Safaro yet.
Yeah. Not sure exactly, but either way, this match is essentially to determine who's third and fourth in this Group A. Neither of these runners will move on, but it is sort of a little bit of a bragging right, being able to say that I did not end up last in my groups.
Yeah. So, getting ready to start here, heading into Cap Kingdom first, of course. We'll be seeing Golden Lily set up for daylight savings time, but we will not be seeing Pita do this. Last race yesterday, he decided to go for the old 1.2 sand wrap instead. So, assuming we'll be seeing that again today.
Yeah, that definitely seemed to be the tendency of Pain Pita.
But yeah, getting right into Cap Kingdom, syncing up the two streams. So the fastest way of movement in this game is rolling, but it's really underrated how tricky timing your rolls properly is, because it's super easy to go way off course while just rolling straight on in this game. So hopefully everyone nails it, but this first part in Cap relies a lot on that movement, and if you mess it up, you can even take a death. So
yeah, directing the direction of your roll is actually pretty slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, you can't exactly turn on a dime here. You're pretty set on a straight line, except for like a little bit of curving that you can do.
Yeah, but both runners nailing it. Pita actually missing the first person mode that you saw Lily get. That saves a little bit of time on the next cutscene, so
yeah,
he'll be losing 1 or 2 seconds there.
It's a trick used a lot for cutscenes. Essentially, you're helping the camera out by moving it closer to where it wants to go before the cutscene happens. So you're essentially, because of that, you're making it so the camera doesn't have to move as much, and the cutscene will start sooner.
Yes, exactly. And now they'll be doing a very common trick you see throughout this run is vectoring. With the frog, if you go at a diagonal direction, Mario's speed does not cap. So he can go faster if they go use the frog and go in sideways rather than straight on, and that saves about 1 jump over.
Yeah, essentially the idea is you jump facing one direction, and then as you're leaving the ground, you start facing a different direction, and that extends the length of the jump.
Yeah, exiting Cap now. Lily messing Topper up just a little bit, but ends the fight pretty well, and Pita getting his strats down just fine. And going into Cascade now. $221 for Lily, pretty good. And $228 for Pita. Not too bad for doing right side.
Yeah.
So in this new, now that we're using 1.3 for this game, we are no longer going to be seeing first moon skip. So it's because if we do skip the first moon, which is possible, the Madame Brood cutscene will not happen. So we need to capture this chain jump and run into the first moon in order to progress the story of this game.
Yeah. There are still plenty of tricks that we could do in this run though that still make it very interesting in my opinion. I feel like it doesn't necessarily just because there aren't like certain skips in this game anymore does it make the run less interesting in my opinion. I feel it just it makes you focus on the things that like really mattered in the run.
Overall, in this run, the best way to save time is actually just by the movement you do on the ground. Like, that's why rolling is so important. But nailing the hard tricks is always really good, and it will save you time. But if you can have good movement throughout the whole run, that's going to get you the best time.
Yeah.
But Lily nailing Dino Skip and PETA setting it up for it now. Looks like he gets it as well. Yep. Fighting Brutal. And grabbing the coins. If PETA does the old route, he won't have to worry about it as much, but both the coin count is still slightly tight up until Wooded, where you have to have 100 coins for the shop. But they should both get it no problem with the amount of coins they got from this fight.
Yeah, with this route, given the just how it works, how it breaks down in Sand Kingdom, it can be a possibility that you just don't end up with enough coins going into Wooded. But there are ways to back that up. Going into Lake is one option, actually.
Yeah, Rango gives 20 coins, so if you can get all those, then that's a lot towards your total if you're down. And you'll generally, even if you miss the 50 coin box at Jaxie Skip, that you can generally scrape by, but it'll be a little bit harder.
Okay.
So now we see Lily going for the atop the Cliff Moon in Cascade instead of Chest Clip, and same with PETA. You could do the Chest Clip route, which saves about half a second, but totally understandable they don't go for it because that's very finicky to do fast, and saving the 5 seconds is very difficult. 0.5 seconds.
Right.
But now Sand. Sand is where we will see what you saw Lily doing with the timer at the very beginning come into play. He basically set it to daylight savings time in 2043. That way, when daylight savings time progresses, his clock will turn forward an hour, and this matters because you plant a seed in this run, and then if the timer goes forward an hour after the seed is planted, the game will think that seed has grown as if an hour has passed. So right away, it'll just grow super fast. So Lily heading down to get the seed and plant it right now. If he misses it, he could lose enough time to miss the hour, but highly unlikely, and looks like he gets it.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
GoldenLily is fine, they are fine.
Yeah. PETA not doing this route, so he won't need to worry about doing daylight savings time because he didn't set it up. And I don't even think he's going to grab the seed moon based on what we've seen from past races and that he didn't plant it already. So
there's no reason to plant the moon if you're not doing DSTA because
you can it takes about 6 seconds to just go in and modify your timer normally, but that's the moons are so fast and I think it's a little easier to just do the other one.
I didn't even really consider that as an option. People aren't doing that. I assume you don't. No one really does that, and it's also seen to be frowned upon as the option because like you can't, the idea of closing out of the game to make yourself go faster is kind of weird to some people.
Yeah, I can
once
see
you
that.
start the game, you're in that game.
But right here, it looks like PETA has a lead, but GoldenLily actually has 2 extra moons greater than PETA, so really he's not ahead. He's not ahead, yeah.
No.
Yeah. And he didn't even opt to go for Dram Strat, so he'll be losing a little bit of time there, assuming Lily makes it.
I
So
think yeah, I'm pretty sure PETA actually just missed the landing onto the fence to start the Dram Strat movement. So Pain PETA just kind of kept going.
We didn't see him go for it yesterday, but I'm not sure if he missed it there as well because it looked very similar to what he did there. So you never know. But anyway, Lily got the
very
strat.
close. Yeah, Lily got it.
And now PETA's doing some movement you will not see from Lily. Oh, almost missing the moon from Lily, but just heading over to the luggage moon. That's one of the moons you get instead of employees only and the seed. The other one he got was oh no, I'm forgetting.
Pain PETA hasn't really gotten another spare moon yet.
Oh no, it's this one right here. Yeah, you don't get the luggage and the flowing sands moon.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you'll see how far ahead Lily actually is. So he's grabbing the Jaxi moon, nailing Jaxi skip first try. So he's very far ahead, and Lily will have to. I mean, PETA will have to make up a lot of time to catch up. Now PETA setting up his own Jaxi skip. Gets it. Not the hardest trick, but easy to mess up on, so you can never overlook it.
Absolutely. And there's no way to... And if you do mess up on it, it's a huge cost on time.
Yeah, it's super hard to back up with a miss. With a spin throw, it's impossible to do a wall jump and get back safely. You can barely make it with a homing cap throw if you don't do the spin throw, but either way, it's still a really big time loss because you have to get an extra move or climb up to get that move safely. Weird cap return rainbow spin there from PETA, but won't really affect his notes. Now, because of 1.3 loads, roll back to the Odyssey from the Notes Moon, but since 1.3 loads are OP, it's only slightly faster with really, really good rolling to go back to the Odyssey via rolling. So most runners just warp instead.
I didn't even know it could be faster. I thought it was just...
The Xbox.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
he found a way.
But yeah, both runners.
Using the loading screen.
Yeah, both runners are good on coins, so they will not be needing to worry about grabbing any extra from Rango, but they probably will just to be safe anyway, unless they go for the late clip route. We'll see. Lily, if he sets up for the late clip here, he will. Okay.
Yeah, the camera's going for it, so...
Oh, what?
That was a fake clip.
Yeah, jeez. It's very rare, at least in my experience, to see him bonk on that surface there. It's much more common to roll to the side of Cappy.
Yeah.
Instead of hitting him.
Definitely.
But getting it second try, that's still very good. And again, with loads being faster, late clip was actually increased the amount of time it saves because you warp to this checkpoint, and the Rango time is less than that. But yeah. Sink? Almost? No?
Nearly, it's for the fact that...
But, yeah.
Lily is 2 moons ahead right now.
Yeah, yes.
Again.
Yeah, heading over to Dory. And after this Pillar Moon, we're going to see where PETA and Lily's routes differentiate. Since Lily has 2 extra moons, he can just go straight into the bubble area where you can talk to this NPC who gives you a very quick moon. But PETA has to go up to fight Rango here. And then Lily will be done with the kingdom, but PETA has to deal with like a minute 20 boss fight, I believe.
Yeah, the boss fight itself isn't that long, but it's the cutscenes after getting it that are actually
Yes.
really lengthy.
Yeah. In my runs, I always estimate the time from hitting right here to the Odyssey to be a little bit less than a minute. So.
It's about 40 seconds, I believe.
Wait, from the multi-moon grab, I believe is 40.
Yeah, from here to the end is 40 seconds.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. But that also might be a difference between physical loads and digital, but I doubt it's as much as 5 seconds.
Right.
But
yeah.
minor differences. But now we see wooded. Lily has the option of doing the tree route or grabbing the story moon midway through the kingdom. But in the middle of that is Nut Clip, which could lose him a lot of time if he fails. Yesterday, unfortunately, we saw PETA hit the Nut Clip, but he failed the out of bounds movement and took a trip to Deep Woods.
Oh!
So that
I had
was
yet to actually see a Deep Woods trip, so...
Yeah, very unfortunate. Yes.
I've definitely seen some out of bounds struggles, but usually they're able to recover it and get back inbounds, typically going to the Fire Bro room.
Yes.
But,
what happened with PETA yesterday is he threw his cap and it came back to him before he had a chance to do a homing spin. So you can't throw your cap anymore after it comes back to you without doing any action with it. So he just ended up tumbling down into Deep Woods, and all he could have done is dive, and that probably wouldn't have been enough to change his direction.
Right.
But here we see Golden Lily skipping tree and getting that clip.
Yep. And very good out of bounds movement to getting this one behind the wall.
Yep, not quite done yet, but makes it nice. And climbing that ramp is pretty tricky. You have to spam jump a whole lot.
Yeah.
And if you mess up, it can be very annoying to reset because you have to use a long jump, and that's a little bit different timing for all the jumps. So just a little bit awkward if you miss it. But now we see PETA going for his own nut clip. Looks like he got it as well.
Yeah.
Oh! No. Wow. He got the height, but apparently he didn't clip out of bounds.
So let's see if PETA decides to go for the rock backup or just goes for the brutal route.
Yeah, rock clip is super hard on 1.3, so he'll probably just be fighting Spirit like yesterday.
Alright.
Saving the video.
And is going to going to climb, do the climb route.
Yes. Instead, he could have grabbed the checkpoint and warped back up to it after completing this room, but decides that he'll be back, climb up to that checkpoint anyway, just right after this room. Both take about the same time, just because of loads. But he messed up the cycle a little bit. Can he fix the... Oh, it takes damage. No fast pipes. That loses like 10 seconds.
Yeah, ground pounded a bit too far to the right, and it accidentally kind of it was just a general misaiming that threw the whole thing off.
But yeah, now doing that climb we talked about earlier. This part's pretty tricky.
Especially to do optimally.
Yes.
Which PETA did not do.
Playing it safe, and that movement again is really hard, so playing it safe is almost better in that case. But now we'll see if Lily decides to do Spirit or go down to Pipes, which PETA just exited. And we'll be fighting Spirit. We'll see 2 Spirits early before luncheon today.
Crazy. That never happened.
Yeah. But we'll get to note the immense differences between the 2 fights in luncheon later.
Oh, they're so significant.
Yes. But yeah. Something we missed with Lily's stream while talking about PETA was Flower Road Skip, which PETA is now coming up to. You have a pretty precise triple jump off the railing. Once you get the triple, it's not too hard, but setting up the triple via a roll cancel or just a general dive is pretty tricky, and PETA decides not even to go for it and just to take the safe Flower Road.
Yeah.
Again, respectable, and then does the normal triple jump strat up to the crumbling, nut on the crumbling tower. And now he'll continue on with the spewer route. Oh, taking a death. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. That's typically a jump that not many people even consider dying.
Yeah, his angle was just slightly off. And losing another 2 seconds to not doing Flower Road Skip, so very unfortunate time loss.
Yeah.
So now Lily will be entering Cloud in just a minute, and there's a bunch of different options you can go for in the movement up to Bowser. The Cloud boost used to be the fastest, but recently there was a new way discovered that is just slightly faster than the fastest Cloud boost that we've seen. So no longer the case, but Lily taking it safe, completely understandable. That movement is super hard. But,
yeah.
Oh,
very
but
much so.
PETA taking another death. That's a very, very unfortunate. Hopefully,
and I'm not even sure if they took the capture, the checkpoint up there, but they did actually, yeah, checkpoints you as soon as you leave. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. The loading zone, so therefore, yeah, you get another checkpoint there.
And now Lily fighting Bowser nailed the first fast hat strategy, backflipping and capturing the hat earlier than was intended. Getting the third one as well. That one's a little bit easier in my opinion, but still very easy to mess up, and that'll lose 5-10 seconds, somewhere in there, because you have to wait for Bowser to do the rest of his movement again. But now we'll see Meme Tree from GoldenLily. Triple jumping off of the small pike there, and we'll get Meme Tree off of that. Very clean setup.
Yeah, good Cappy return jump there.
Very easy to die on, so. Getting the butterfly and heading down to these 2 moons atop the pillars. Other one's a little bit secretive. Oh, there it is.
Now these butterflies flying around, a glowy thing. I wonder what it is.
Yeah. Now triggering Klepto here, walking right by him because his trigger is still active even though you've done Meme Tree, but you're just skirting around it until you can get to a point where you can run by him and activate his time where he thinks he has Cappy.
Which also means that the music changes to Klepto fight music, which is significantly worse than the Lost music.
Isn't it? Lily looks like he might be going for the Cage Moon and the no, he's not. Okay. It looked like he thought about going for the cage triple jump, but then messed up his jump a little bit, so decided to play it safe and go for the underneath Cage Moon. So.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I thought for a minute he was going to do the underground Cage Moon and the above ground Cage Moon, which was a little bit strange, but...
Stone and metal cages.
Yes.
I believe are like actual names.
Yeah, that sounds right. I should know. I've run Talking to before, but forgot.
It's okay. Talking to doesn't necessarily mean you know every moon by heart.
It just means you can recognize the moon names when you see them.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So just as PETA is entering Lost, Lily is entering Night Metro, or Rainy Metro, whichever you'd like to call it. Moon's out, so it's probably nighttime.
It's definitely nighttime.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, New York City can be pretty dark when it's a giant rainstorm, but
Moon's out. That's all
yeah,
the confirmation.
Moon's out.
Yeah, grabbing the first of many girder moons you will get in and heading up to the city hall portion of this kingdom, which is very supple, but you don't frequently see it because it's based on a cycle, so it's pretty easy to practice it. But if you miss the cycle, the movement to back it up can be very, very difficult. But looks like he nailed it. Yep, now he just has to wall kick his way up to the top, and then he'll be good to go until the blind jump at the end. A little bit scary blind jump, but it was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah. It looked like he was a little bit too far to the right for a minute, but then his last dive was way enough space.
Yeah, I was not really concerned. A jump is pretty easy to get once you understand the movement of it.
Yeah, the only difficult part is really the camera. But now PETA is about to exit Lost, and Lily is fighting the Mech Wiggler. The first phase is set. It will always do the same thing, but the second phase, it's very RNG dependent. Probably the most RNG dependent part of this run. There's only 2 other places that even slightly require RNG. But this pattern can decide whether or not you get a 3 cycle, and generally you can save it if you really mess up, but it can be very frustrating to get a pattern where it loops over itself. But so far it looks like it's pretty good. Oh no. Did a surprise loop at the end there, but just fine. Only missed one.
Lily dealt with that very well, so it wasn't really going to be much of a problem.
But now PETA entering Night Metro Kingdom. So originally, we thought the fastest movement would be to do the Metro Impossible jump down to the beginning, but it's actually much faster to take the wire because it's a wire and it shoots you straight down rather than having to wait for a jump and then roll over to the awning. So not as stylish, but much more quick. Oh no!
Oh, that's a costly bong that's going to cause a death.
Yes, and hopefully he got the checkpoint.
Doesn't matter.
He did get the checkpoint, but
yeah, whether or not you got that checkpoint, the death itself is really the big part of that time loss.
Yeah. But on Lily's side, nailing Metrodram and heading into Scooter Clip. He will be doing Scooter Clip and brushing up against the cage. Oh, misses it.
Now just waiting to slide over to it.
Yep. Second try, not too bad. Doing the scooter backup instead of just getting off the scooter. I don't know which is faster there. I've seen it done both ways, but either way, makes it up to this and trying to home in on the pylon while capturing that, while getting that moon. And now talking to this sad guy because no one will talk to him. See, being nice rewards you. Always talk to someone when you see they need help.
Yes. I'm okay with that advice, actually.
So now we'll see whether Lily decides to do the musicians route or bullet building. Looks like he's going for musicians. Very respectable decision, as bullet building is very, very hard to do optimally. But now talking to Pauline and then the drummer to get the first of the story moons you will get in this kingdom. And on Pain Pita's side, we will see whether or not he hits a 2 or 3 cycle on his way. Looks like a very good pattern for Pita.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, much better than Lily's, but barely misses that last move. But overall, good enough fight. And now Lily grabbing that second story moon and warping up to the checkpoint he grabbed earlier.
Yeah, that good luck is going to allow for Pita to get a fairly fast 2-cycle there.
Yeah. Now Lily attempting a blind dive down to this moon, gets it. That dive is very scary because just going into that without even setting it up is without practice, it's very easy to miss that. So respect for him for getting it, and just now climbing up to this dizzying heist moon, spin pounding on the top. Wow. He didn't get the rainbow spin set up, so I'm kind of surprised he hit that, but it made it look easy, to be honest.
Yeah, that spin pound is actually a really precise thing to
do. Bouncing off the guy's head to get down to the people room.
And Pita doing fast RC, opting to not go for the scooter clip.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, the fast RC is harder than the scooter clip itself. Like, scooter clip is hard to do fast, but the fast RC loses 8 seconds still, I believe. And it's just much easier to align scoot clip for me and then get it. Plus, if you're too slow on the RC car, this taxi will be in the way, as it kind of is right now, so that can be annoying to deal with.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how Pita's going to deal with this.
Dives right over it.
I mean, that was still pretty slow.
Yeah.
Kind of a slow way to deal with it. And it's probably going to be, that same taxi cab's actually probably still going to be in the way when they cross the street again to go to Pauline, I'm guessing. Yep, there it is. Not the same one, but same idea. Yeah, taxi cab cycles are very important in this kingdom. Something that isn't always considered.
Yeah. Now, Snow Kingdom, we'll be seeing Captain Toad for the first of 2 times in this run. Hopefully 2 times. The second time is not for sure. But now he's buried behind this nice shelter he's made out of snow from. Oh, Lily removing almost all of it.
Probably gonna go for a spin pound, which will remove the rest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're good. But they remove
right
all of it. If the cap got thrown out somehow during that spin pound, it would have been bad.
Yeah. If he missed it and did a cap throw and just spin through, oops. Sorry, Toad.
Yeah, it's all gone now.
Messed up a little bit grabbing that entrance to Shiveria Moon, but does a very quick backup. It's actually pretty difficult to get that moon after missing the initial triple jump, but nails it just fine, does 2 wall jumps off of the wall and the cardboard boxes. So, will he do moon clip? Nope, no moon clip.
Ooh, Pita falling down before getting the dizzying heights moon. Not able to make the full climb up on the first try.
No.
Oh! That was even worse.
And Lily dying.
Like the first time, at least he wasn't at the top of the spire, but then Pita making it to the top of the spire and diving right underneath that moon. And
No.
Lily taking a death in the Typhoon room.
Wow.
Certainly a difficult room to do, so.
I suppose it's because the respawn cycle is slightly slower, but I didn't think his movement would to spin pound on the rock, but he made it and was able to do the quick movement up to the top, but sadly failed that afterwards. Oh,
PETA, gotta trigger that lever.
bonking.
That was just some weird movement that the people made him do.
Yeah. I suppose that's another point of somewhat RNG in the run, but not really. Yeah, technically those people are on a cycle, but if you mess up like that, you don't know what's happening. So. Not really RNG, but kind of.
Yeah. And the cycle starts from when you enter the room, so it's
Yeah.
It just
So, speaking of RNG, none of the Goombas killed themselves. Yeah. Speaking of RNG, none of the Goombas killed themselves, so that's good for Lily. So won't be losing time to having to reset the room by dying.
Mm-hmm. We'll miss the fast bonk strat there.
Yeah. But we did not see him get the shot moon early, so he will also be going for Snowdram. And we'll get the shot moon now and then warp up to doing the jump.
So hopefully Lily can get a good Snowdram here, being able to set it up properly and everything.
Yeah, doesn't accidentally blind the life out part, always good.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, PETA having a bit of awkward movement in the start of Snow Kingdom here.
Now,
able to recover.
Yes. Both outside of the Shiveria at the same time.
Okay, looking like a good vault to start it, and yep, able to get over there. No problem.
Yeah, that jump is pretty tricky, especially not doing the not doing the vector setup, but what we both laughed at there. PETA looked like he was gonna leave Toad a significant amount of his wall, but dived right into the rest of it.
Yep. Okay, and PETA not gonna go for the Snowdram, gonna get this moon right away.
Yeah. I want to say Lily's PB is 102.45, but don't quote me on that. That's what I saw looking at her his stream earlier. So it was his comparison. So I'm assuming it was his PB, but it could have been his SOB or just an average he compares to. Slightly messing up the movement to get up to this backflip up to the cliff on the moon and seaside here, but backs it up and now heading into the rumble room. Meanwhile, PETA will be able to save a little bit of time over the room, assuming he doesn't die. And gets the fast cycle even.
Nicely done.
I've never seen that dive strat before, but normally you would do a triple jump and then just float down in the water. Floating down in the water while maintaining speed is much harder than it was. So diving to drop down a little bit faster and get a little bit more distance to chapter the crucial. Fish bonk. But now Lily heading up to the new and improved Sphinx clip in this run. With 1.0 being removed, we had to see off the old Sphinx clip in sand. However, we do get this new one. We do the fish clip to get to the original last moon in the seaside route, but then enter the Sphinx room without actually talking to the Sphinx. This clip is probably the easiest way to get out of bounds, but it's also quite easy to come back out of bounds right here. But looks like
out of bounds.
yes, out of bounds. You're right there. Nope. Pia in this Rango room, we did not see Lily do because he did Snowdram, but slightly messing up the movement, but no huge errors. Probably not doing Snowdram probably about cancels out the death he didn't take, so probably splitting approximately the same in this kingdom, assuming he didn't make any other mistakes we missed.
Lily will be moving on to lunch in Kingdom.
Yes, about a full kingdom lead for Lily, so that's about 4 minutes. Well, because it was a little bit over for him. More like 3:40.
Significant amount of time.
Yes. So Lily's setting up for salt triple. Tricky jump because you have to go away from the little bit. That way you bonk your head on the top. Not actually bonk, but hit your head on the top of the wall, and then that'll screw up the height you get, and you won't be able to make it. And now we'll see the completely new Spirit fight.
Dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
They scaled it so much.
Mm-hmm. It's a rectangle now.
Yeah, they scaled the arena so much.
Yeah. This is a dumb thought, but I wonder if the rectangle and the circle have approximately the same area.
They don't. The rectangle is definitely larger.
I don't know, man.
No.
Because that circle's pretty big and wooded.
No, it's not.
I'll be measuring the radius coming up.
In what units?
Mario steps.
Okay.
But now, entering the most straightforward sub-area in this game. Go right in, grab this moon.
And leave.
Yep. The other moon's way too slow to even consider getting. It's slower in, diving into the lava, but it's fine. But it's too slow for even, getting the checkpoint to refill health. That's very smart, but bonking. But anyway, it's slower in darker side, and any percent to get both of the moons in that sub-area. That's how slow that other moon is. So it's just kind of funny that they just left that one right there for the speedrunners. Just like, okay, you can have this, just the other one's just gonna be a little too slow.
I get a bit of trouble with that crate moon there.
Yeah. Wow. Blind throw.
That was a really interesting Kobe.
Meanwhile, PETA setting up for his fish flip. Yeah, yesterday it was a little bit scary that he'd go out of bounds. Oh, misses the moon first try, but looks good. Back in bounds. Made that mistake again.
Alright. I think I understood what you meant.
Now, Lily entering the Forks room. Will not be doing the fast dives, but capturing the Forks nonetheless. Still pretty quick. And
a couple fast dives there, but yeah, It can be kind of risky to go for them, so
Yeah.
I'll
Didn't
pick
go
the
for
safest
any
safe
of the.
for most,
Yeah. Didn't go for any of the blind ones that could very easily end up in a death. So wise decision. Nice spin pound roll cancel.
Yeah, Lily's probably aware of their lead and is trying to play it a bit safe, as to not lose that lead.
Now here, a difference from the 1.0 version, the turnip, as we did back then. Instead, we have to capture the hammer bro since the turnip clip using the hammer bro is a 1.0 exclusive. So that will no longer be seen unless someone figures out a new way to do it. Oh, nice roll cancel to get over that gap.
Alright, Peeta's starting out their spirit fight, while Lily is going to be making the movement to finish out Luncheon Kingdom here.
Yeah, interesting, but you set up a vault before you grab that moon to get behind this mountain. And nails the spin pound. Very, very clean. Oh no!
Oh, there is a way to recover from this.
Yep,
We have to
and
be able to do it.
Nice. Oh, even okay, not grabbing the heart because it's a multi-moon. But if it was a regular moon, that would have been really smart.
Yeah.
Not getting the one frame jump, so we'll be able to maintain her cap bounce. If you jump on the first frame that Mario is on the ground, it will not register as him being really on the ground, so you won't get a second cap bounce. And as a result, you take a dive into the lava. But still not a huge time loss, even if you do fall. And now Lily will be entering the most interesting kingdom in the game. By far.
Yeah, there's some really good creativity in Bowser's Kingdom, but I think you're referring to Ruined Kingdom.
Ah, yes. Let's just skip over it, you know?
Yeah,
Just ignore these next 3 minutes.
Well, we don't ignore it entirely because, of course, we can do some things for it. But actually, during it, we're gonna see Peeta doing their lunge movement.
Peeta manipulating his camera, so the Podobo activates just a little bit later. That way he can capture it a little bit more easily. Wow, he's doing some of the fast dive strats. That's cool. Ooh, man, that was... It looked like he might have dived just slightly too early there, but it was fine. Now doing the movement back up to the Cliff Moon and Luncheon. Quite a few Cliff Moons in this game. Does it slightly differently than Village, but
well, you know, this game's a lot about being able to make high jumps.
Yeah.
This game allows you to gain a lot of height with the movement options that Mario has. So
yes.
A lot of sense.
Vertical jumping is very, very cool in this game. Oh, and missing the roll cancel that we saw Lily do earlier. Meanwhile, Lily finishing up this Ruined Dragon fight. Oh, I forgot to mention whether or not we saw Captain Toad. There's a pixelated Captain Toad hint art in this kingdom. That's the second time we'll see him in this run, but missed him in this one.
It's fine.
We might see Peta get it, but we'll be focusing on Bowser's Kingdom by then. So now Peta going for this movement. See if he takes playing it safe. Does a side flip, but
I don't know if that side flip was intentional, but kind of
yeah,
rolled with
it. We worked it out, but it looked like angle. He kept his stick in the same position, just slightly too long, so he did a side flip on the next jump. But now Peta finishing up his luncheon and then entering Ruined as Lily entering Bowser's Kingdom. Very difficult movement in this kingdom. Starts out simple, straightforward, just a few, literally straightforward. Just don't even hold the analog stick and just roll. And then you'll make it to the first pylon. Then things get dicey. Not seeing Pokio Drain, just going through the normal movement.
Yeah.
And confirmation, Lily's PB is 102.45.
I mean, in the chat there, that is also someone saying that based off of the leaderboards.
Oh, no, I checked as well.
Oh, well, that's still based off the leaderboards.
That's true as well, but there was nothing else in his stream history.
That is like the only source we have to go off of.
Yeah. But now, entering the shards portion of this kingdom. The movement in this part is very difficult. You can dive back just after getting that shard he just got, but he doesn't even go for it because that is a very difficult strategy. But
yeah,
instead,
went for the triple jump towards it. Good movement to get over to the Shards Moon. Overall, some pretty good routing there on that moon. Of course, could have gone a bit faster with the second shard, but other than that, it was pretty well done. And is going to be trying for this Bowser Dram strat. Ooh, not quite getting Cappy in the right positioning there. Yeah, having a bit of trouble getting to this pylon.
Now, will he go Topper or Harriet?
These are the
Topper first.
questions.
Topper first.
Of course.
It is the safer option.
It's the better option.
And the safer option because, it's the better option because it's safer. See, he took damage there, now he can, if he chooses to. It is much easier to take damage on Topper than Harriet, so, and you can feel much better about yourself going to Harriet fight itself. So, we'll see if he decides to go for it, but yes, he will, of course. Oh, nice roll cancel.
And goes to hit the plus button a bit too early.
Yeah.
It's not really going to cause much of a time loss.
not doing the first person Harriet strategies. Understandable. If you mess those up, it's not too hard to back it up, but it's time loss and it's not much slower to just do it.
Right. PETA now going to be entering Bowser's Kingdom as well, finishing up their ruined fight.
Yesterday he did go for Harriet first, but maybe he's part of the dice roll game. So we'll see if he changes his colors today.
Right.
So far his movement's been clean up to this ogre moon, but it's really at shards we'll see a difference. Not dying there. Meanwhile, Lily going over to get this moon behind the crates. And then setting up for this blind jump. You cannot move the camera until you're midway through that jump. Scary. And if you miss it, you respawn all the way back at where you grabbed the story moon, so pretty big time. Small issues with the Pokio, but makes it work. And now entering mech while PETA's doing his own shards. Also not going for the dive back strat. Again, not a bad decision. Doing what he's confident in. Lily getting the climb up to Rango pretty well, and now getting fast topper.
Gonna be able to stay on top of Riddle for now as well. Having some fun with for a person.
Yes. Deciding to go for target acquired, looks like. Gets it.
Nails
Perfect.
it.
That mech was pretty good. Did he miss? Did he climb up? Did he miss the climb up? Because it looked like he did the dives instead of backflipping.
It was a bit of a slower, like, safer climb.
Okay.
But definitely, you know.
I didn't see him fall, but
yeah, didn't seem to mess it up at all. Just seemed to go for a bit of a slower route up the next side. Yeah, just kind of did like a triangle jump instead of backflip.
Yeah. And now PETA again going Harriet first. So we'll just say he's confident that he won't take damage, but really he just chose poorly.
Yeah.
Harriet down, now going into topper. We'll see if his decision was wise or his mistake. And Lily entering moon soon.
Oh, taking damage right away.
Yeah, that's exactly why you do topper first. Now he can't grab the checkpoint without losing time.
Yeah, this fight's actually giving him a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, and he could even potentially die here. And oh, he won't have to do Harriet again. Never mind. At least grabbing the heart.
But having a lot of trouble, wasting a lot of time with these, with this like mid-phase part.
Yeah, no. No way to really salvage the health he lost in that fight. So, well, without losing time. So, shoot. Meanwhile, Lily getting some good vectors over to the main portion of the Moon Kingdom. Soon he'll be grabbing a couple rocket flowers. Making his way over to Moonskip. Not the hardest trick in the game, but again, it's easy to fail as well. Going for a spin pound, nice. 2 wall jumps, and he's up, backflipping to make sure he gets a cat bounce. Doesn't even use it though. But yeah, he's off to the chapel. Now Peta going for his own blind jump. Does it a little bit further back than Lily did, but makes it all the same. And now Lily going for Bowser. Movement going up to the first hat can be done several different ways, but that movement it worked, and he didn't end up having to wait for Bowser to jump around.
This is looking at a PB pace for Lily right now. Given what you said.
Yes, given the 102.45.
Yeah. Will of course take Lily doing the rest of this pretty much perfectly, because any sort of death will cost him, will cost Lily that minutes, so it will definitely be devastating, so I want to make sure to stay alive here to be able to secure that PB and also the win here.
Yes. Meanwhile, Peta looks like he's doing well on his mecha. Yesterday we didn't see him go for target acquired, and looks like the same.
Yeah, already setting up to hit Rango there.
Oh, but Lily messing up the hat phase for this could cost him the PB.
Potentially, not as big of a loss as...
Oh, misses it twice. Now he can't go for it because he doesn't have...
Yeah, it's at 1 health as well, and this could be actually a very difficult fight to go for. Difficult fight that happens. Like, going for the slow route in this fight is actually still very difficult to do.
Yes, yeah,
Managing
it's very
to
easy
get the quick Bowser there, still, you know, getting it before Bowser has a chance to jump to a different platform.
Yeah.
And gonna be able to finish out the fight and enter the escape sequence.
Yeah. Doesn't end up taking a death there, which is good.
And also an interesting thing to note there, I didn't even realize that could happen. If you, I don't know if you noticed it, but
the heart was still there.
Yeah, the heart was still there in the cutscene.
Yeah. But he captured Bowser at 0030, and I believe a good escape is 2 minutes long, so it's still possible for him to PB.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah. So now, will we see XD skip? I guess
Probably
not.
not.
Probably wants to play it safe for PB.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll not blame him at all for not doing XD skip.
Peta finishing out Bowser's Kingdom.
Nails 2D skip though. Good start. Oh wait. Oh.
No.
Oh, tease. Man, that's the 3rd time in a row.
Feel like a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Normally, that one, the one that you jump off to do X, so whenever it's not broken, I get hopeful. Yeah, entering pillars at 101.40, so 50 pillars is very good, so he can lose 15 seconds off of good pillars and still PB, and messes up a little bit on that, but it still looks like it should be good if he doesn't mess up these next few.
This is gonna cut it really close.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, Peta taking a death though. But
Save that clip for later. But yeah, this is gonna be. I'm not entirely sure if he's gonna be able to make it.
I think he got it.
Should be good, yeah.
Yeah, he got it. Race PBs are few and far between, so it's super
And apparently
cool to see.
Ganon's player experiment say that the PB is actually a 102.16.
Oh, come on, man. Can't believe I didn't find that. I thought I did a good search. Oh well.
Ganon.
My mistake. Still, 22 seconds off PB in a race is very good. So, sadly, we'll not be moving on, but nonetheless, a good time.
Yeah, like I said, this match was more about deciding who would get that third place spot in the group. You know, more for just like your own personal sort of pride, and so Lily will be walking away with that today.
Mm-hmm. Peter with the movement up to the hat phase with Bowser, a little bit different than Lily. Dodging the flames just fine. Hitbox is very deceivingly small. But missing the hat cycle. I'm playing it safe for this one, not going for the backup double jump straps. It's possible to take damage and then double jump and still make the hat phase barely, but it's very inconsistent. Not dodging the flames this time, but he only needs to take 1 damage on this last hat phase, so... And not even going to go for the fast hats, just playing it safe. Beating up Bowser. Now, entering the escape sequence one last time. For this group at least. Taking a pretty straight line up to this first 2D, up to this 2D section. It's common to see beginner runners go way off to the side on each of their bounces here, but it's much faster just to take a straight line up to this breakable pillar right here, because vectoring with Bowser does not do nearly as much as it does vectoring with Mario in the front. But now, entering 2D section, will he do XD skip?
Okay, we're fine. We're okay.
That was super scary. No XD skip from him either.
Yeah, after going back, after that rush of death with the 2D skip, yeah, not surprised at all.
Yes, that was very, very scary. So PETA could possibly beat his race time from yesterday. So we'll see how good his pillars are and whether or not he can do that.
I'm also curious to see if PETA will be able to finish within 5 minutes. Even though, you know, these points, of course, don't matter, there's a little bit of pride saying that at least you got some points.
Yeah. Looks like he could get points, but sadly...
Yeah, we'll get 1 point.
Yes. But sadly, he will not, he will not finish ahead of his time from yesterday. 11 seconds off, but it's alright.
Yeah. And with that, that would be the end of Group A's qualifier matches. leading to Tyrone and Okra set to advance from Group A for qualifiers. And so, congratulations to those two players. Very good fights by Lily and Peta here in this race. So if you want to catch like any of the matches that happened in this Group A, or maybe any other matches, any other competitions that we had at all, you can always go to always type !YT in the chat. I don't know if we're gonna have any interviews, but it's always good to get advertising in
Right.
!Twitter as well, different places. Let's see what the restreamer's saying.
And we gotta head out.
Oh, okay. We're getting the signal to wrap. Okay. So yeah, I'll continue on. Yeah, !Twitter, !YT. Those are all some good things. I always want to see schedule to see what's up next. I believe a Paper Mario run is next.
Yes, Paper Mario 64.
Yeah. So stick around for that. That'll be Salty Shaz versus Drogi. And so yeah, that'll be coming right up.